you turn around and have a look, but in the bushes you'll see some stone. Yeah? So that is the old extent of the quarry. So everything you're stood on, right the way down to the floor where we were just now, this is all material from the overburden on the top there, which has been brought in and placed here, quarry waste and inert materials which have been brought in and outside. So everything right down to the floor, all the way down through, is all part of the restoration. You can just see where we started to shape the land. So further on you can see where the tip has been built up in sort of very basic steps and levels. So what we then do is we use our quarry waste material, which you can see dumped, the brownie stuff dumped in there, to bring those final levels up to where we want them. So we'll come back in with the excavator or a dozer, level those off, and then profile as we have done on this end here to marry in with what's already been restored. So that type of sort of restoration will continue all the way down that tip area and then into the area where we're extracting the last of the stone from. So at the end of it, we always try and give it back in a better state than originally. So for tarmac, because of the location on the Isle of Purbeck, what we're standing on, although it just looks like ordinary green grass, is really actually quite exciting and special. You can get very, the reason for that is down the valley towards St Albans Head, there is a SSSI, which is a Site of Special Scientific Interest, and that's a European designation. And the reason for that on that stretch is because of the limestone grassland, or the calcareous grassland, because it's a proper name. And that type of grassland is pretty rare in the UK, and it only is supported on certain areas of limestone. And what it does, it supports some fairly special grasses and flowers and plants, and that in turn supports some fairly rare butterflies and moths. So what Tarmac in the past said, okay, we will try and recreate that same grassland for the restoration of Swanworth, and so that's what they've done. So in the 90s, there was a lady called Barbara Smith who did her PhD based on the restoration to the grassland of Swanworth, and there are various areas and sections which have been restored at different times. What Tarmac did, to be fair play to them, because it was an expensive process, they actually took some seed from Acton down the road again, which has got some good examples of limestone grassland, and they sent it away to a firm in a series of greenhouses, and they actually grew that seed into more seed over a period of a few years. When they had enough, they brought that back and they then seeded one area. That area grew over a few years, and then they cut that area and spread it around. So now when we come to restore or seed over that section of there, we now have enough good quality grassland here that we can cut and then pick the cuttings up, lay them on top, and then they will seed over a period of time. And the other key thing which Dr. Barbara Smith is keen on is the management of the grassland. If you just left it, then slowly over time you get invasive weed species and the fertility would get too rich, so you lose the limestone grassland. So what we have to do is we use something very simple, is we use a cow, which is a lovely form of management. So somebody asked about the restoration and how we do it. For any quarrying operation, you have to have a final restoration plan. And for Swanworth, this is a plan view of the quarry. We are going to restore it to a fairly simple bowl type shape. Again, there's quite a bit of detail that goes into that. And again, each year Dr. Barbara Smith comes back and she looks at what we're doing. She does a little report for us again, which again we can pass on to the local parish councils and liaison meeting about that we're achieving what we said we're going to achieve.